Coming to you from the Big Island of Hawaii, it's the Songs and Stories Podcast. And now, here's your host, Steve Roby.
Aloha, this is Steve Roby from Big Island Music Magazine, West Hawaii Today. We're backstage at the Kahilu Theatre. Help me with your last name.
Marta Pereira, that's a difficult one.
That's
Pereira
Pereira?
da Costa is more easy.
Okay, can I call you Marta?
Of course,
Okay,
yes.
thank
It's
you.
a big name, but Marta is enough.
Welcome to the Big Island. Aloha.
Thank you, aloha.
Is this your first time here?
It's my first time. It's
All
like a
right.
dream being here.
All right, to Hawaii itself or just
To Hawaii.
To Hawaii
I
itself?
thought I would come here one day on vacation, not playing, but playing is the best of the best. So
All right.
I'm very,
Will you
very
have some
happy.
time to spend here?
Yes, we had already 1 day and a half to get used to the new schedule, new time. But we went to the beach, we swam with the turtle, we went yesterday night to the manta.
Oh, the manta ray. Yeah.
It was so
Night
incredible.
diving?
Yes, night
Okay,
diving.
Cool. Okay, the question that's been on my mind and that I'm really excited to ask you about, I've read that you're the first and currently only professional female Fido guitarist in the world. Is that still the case? And why aren't there any other women in the genre?
Well, traditionally only men play the Portuguese guitar. It has been like that since ever. I just started playing by fun because I love music and I used to play the piano, and Portuguese guitar was like a passion of my father. And I started learning and I fell in love with the instrument. So it was like a joke. We were just playing with other guitar players. They would like me to learn, but then I understood that I was doing something very special because no women would.
Why is that? It's just a tradition?
Tradition. And in Portugal, they are very prejudiced. So if you don't do nothing new, if you do, you'll need to battle and to work very hard to get it. So
Did you receive some grief from that?
I received both. I received supports for some of the Portuguese guitar players, my masters, but also from the most traditional ones. Well, this is not. This is very different, and she just plays because she's a woman, a nice woman. Or, well, I need to work very, very hard to prove that what I'm doing has some quality, and that's what I want to do is very respectful, and I had to prove a lot, but I'm very proud of the work. There's another woman, she's 23, I believe. She just finished a Portuguese guitar high degree level. She was the first one in my time. There was no degrees. We just were used to see the other guitar players play.
Professionally?
It was like oral tradition. You see and you imitate. It was like that I learned. And now you have some music sheet already, and she was the first woman getting the degree. And so we talk a lot about our struggle, and we support each other. We play together, so it's historical.
Is it starting to change?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's starting to change.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
That's very, very good.
When did you first decide that you wanted to become a professional guitarist, and who was your inspiration? Was it a musician? Or?
Yeah, I have some masters and they were very supportive. Well, I believe since ever I wanted to be a musician, since ever, because I used to play the piano when I was 4 and I was to be a pianist. But then when I started playing the Portuguese guitar, I felt a very special connection with the instrument, and I knew I could do something different if I had time to dedicate to the instrument. I was a civil engineer at the same time.
Really? Wow.
I had twins. I would teach piano, I would play fado at night, I would work during the day, and I had 2 kids. But my dream was always being a musician. And there was a very special moment that made me think about it, and it was when I was married to a fado singer. He invited me to record his album, and I was not prepared because you need many, many years to be a good performer, and I would play by my master's side, so I would see how they play and I would do something, but not independently. So when I recorded that album, I had to study it a lot. I used my classical background, which was very helpful, and we did an album that was rewarded that year. It was the best album of
Wow, congratulations.
So I was very proud, and I said, well, if I have time, if I dedicate myself to this, I can do something special. And I'm going to study music again. I'm going to quit civil engineering, And well, that's how it happened. The concert started coming.
Yeah.
And
here we go. Here's the road.
So
take
happy.
off. So, why is the Portuguese guitar so special for you? And is it called a Portuguese guitar? I know, but it has 12 strings,
yes,
2 sets of 6?
Double strings.
It's just a Portuguese guitar?
Portuguese guitar, that's guitarra portuguesa.
Okay.
It's how we say it.
I'll let you say that. Why is it special for you? Why that instrument?
Well, I think the timbre, the magical of the sound, I think anyone who hears touch their hearts. And that's the most beautiful characteristic of the Portuguese guitar. And when I started learning the Portuguese guitar, I started composing what I could never do in 20 years of piano classical study. So it was a totally different approach, more risky, more experimental, and well, it's like my skin. The Portuguese guitar, I always say it's like a prolongation of my fingers in my body, and it fits me. And I feel so transparent when I play. I can pass all my emotions to those strings, the way I push the string.
Sure, yeah.
And that's it. I think all the Hawaiians that will see the Portuguese guitar, they will fall in love with the sound.
That's my next question. You're a mind reader. So there's a large connection between Portuguese and Hawaiian history. For example, the ukulele was brought here in 1879. And there's a good community of Portuguese people here on the island. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Well, I know we historically are connected, and all the Portuguese from Açores and Madeira came here for the cane, the sugar cane, to work.
Right.
And they brought the instruments, not only the braguinha, but also another instrument that now I forget the name, but
the braguinha is the small ukulele size
There's
guitar.
Another one.
Okay.
Another one that came also from.
But they didn't bring a guitar with them.
They did.
They did. Okay.
Yeah, they did, and they played in the ship, the boat.
Oh, okay.
And they arrived, and the natives called ukulele because it's like how can I say the translation is like jumpy sounds because it is very
higher pitch. Yeah.
So they baptized with that name, and well, I think both musics, both instruments and the Portuguese history, they are connected, and even in the phrases, even.
But forgive me my history. So the vaqueros brought the guitar, the Spanish guitar, or the Portuguese too, because one became the slide-key guitar. They left the guitars behind. They didn't tell the Hawaiians how to play them.
The vaqueros, I don't know the vaqueros.
Oh, vaqueros are the Mexican cowboys.
Oh, okay.
Some call them Spanish cowboys. But so they showed the Hawaiians how to play the guitar, but they didn't teach them fully. So they kind of developed a different style of playing guitar called slack key. Okay. But the Portuguese side is different.
They were here. They were playing here. They constructed the guitars here. And so.
So we have the Portuguese to thank.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. So how does the Portuguese guitar and fado music resonate with your American audiences?
Well, I think some American already, because Portugal is very famous now and Americans go to Portugal on vacation, they go and live there. So they are some of them, a bit familiar with fado music. A few years ago, when I started touring in the United States, they didn't even know the name of the instruments, and they would go to the concerts. They would go, but they would ask me in the end, what is that beautiful instrument? What is the name of that instrument? I'll say Portuguese guitar. And I would get very surprised because people would come to the concert, they would know my name, they would know what I was going to play, but they would come to listen. They were open to new things, and that was very special. So every time I came to the United States to different venues, I would feel very proud to bring the Portuguese culture here and to talk about Portugal, talk about the Portuguese guitar, and to feel the reaction of the public. It was very, very nice, very surprising.
Sure. Is that what the Kahilu concert goes can expect today is kind of a little, besides your guitar playing, a little what we call talk story?
Yes. Yeah. I'm going to explain.
Oh, okay.
Because fado used to be sang. No, fado is sang, not used to be. Fado is sang. There's a female or a male fado singer, and then there are two instruments, the Portuguese guitar and the classical guitar. They accompany the voice. But here what I brought today is a new project where the Portuguese guitar is the voice. It's an instrumental project, and I think the Portuguese guitar has the importance of other traditional instruments in other countries, like the flamenco guitar, like the bandoneon in tango, like the bandolim chorinho. So I want to bring that importance to the Portuguese guitar as an instrument.
So I see you brought some merchandise with you today, some CDs. Tell me about what's available in your catalog.
So I brought my first CD. It was released in 2016 by Warner Music. I'm preparing my second one. I thought it would come out at the end of COVID because I was working very hard, but then the concerts came, and I've been so thrilled with all the traveling and the concerts, and so the second album is still waiting to come out. But this first album is very variated because it has instrumental pieces but also sang pieces. I invited some Portuguese famous fado singers and singers from the Portuguese music, but also two international musicians like Richard Bona, which is a very famous bass player, and Staratiba, which is an Iranian singer that we have a very special connection because she has to leave her country to sing and to go go after her dream, because in Iran women can't sing. So we both connected because we followed our dreams against traditions and against rules and against.
Well, good for you. What's the rest of the year look like for you? Are you still touring?
Yes, we'll still have 3 concerts in California. We were in Washington before for another 3 National Galleries, Blues Alley, Portuguese Embassy, now here, and then we'll go to California and back to Portugal and still traveling.
Well, thank you so much for coming to the Kahilu Theatre and visiting the Big Island. Aloha, Marta. Thank you.
Aloha, thank you.
Thanks for listening to the Songs and Stories podcast. Make sure you never miss a show by clicking the subscribe button now. This podcast is made possible by listeners like you. Thank you for your support. We'll see you next week on Songs and Stories. Aloha.